Hello, Mgtow. Hello, men. Hello, MRAs. Today's a very difficult subject. I had a request a little while ago. I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry I didn't get back to him really quickly, but the request was very difficult. It's a very difficult subject. He asked me, he says, Joe, I know you got children. What do you think about Mgtows that want children? And how do you think we can get children? And it's a very difficult question. I have two children around right now. I have my children too, so everybody knows I have children. I don't have the children, if that's what he was asking me. I'm a divorced male. I don't have the rights to my children in this country. I suppose I should tell you I lived with my children from my oldest daughter was 14, my middle child was 10 or yeah, and my youngest son was 6 when we got our divorce, and my wife went to jail. I had the children for a short period of time, about a year. When she got out of jail, she was rehabilitated, and this is one of the funny questions about the CSA and child HHS and in America is when she got out of the jail, she just come and took the children. I reported the children missing, and the Amber Alert didn't go off for the man. Nobody cared. They gave the children, CSA gave the children to the mother who had just got out of the jail for drug abuse. That's the way it works in America for men. There will be no courts for your children if you're a man. If you do go to court, you're going to lose them. A year later, I went to court, and they told me she paid her debt, and they proceeded to give my children to a drug abuser, a felon, a 2-time felon, actually a 3-time felon. And by that time, she was 3-time felon. She had a felony going, and not even supposed to be in the court, and the judge still gave the children to the female. This is the way it's going to be, men. So the question of, for me, it's a very, very difficult. It's a very, very difficult thing having children in my life, and I do have children. I have 2 downstairs right now. You can probably hear them once in a while on the back of the tapes. They play outside, and they're great kids. They're my brother's kids, and my youngest child, comes over a lot, and I enjoy his company when I can get it. Did I want children? Oh yeah. I wanted children, not at first, but after I had them, I wanted them more. Did I want a wife? No, I never wanted a wife with the children. I just wanted children. I never really wanted a wife, but there's only really one way to secure children in this environment and that's why this makes this a very, very difficult question. What I say, I know a lot of Mgtows want children, and it's the biggest trap there is, and it's why a lot of times I'm so angry, because they took my children, and if you're a Mgtow and you want children, you may have to adopt. You may have to look for surrogacy. Surrogacy is expensive, but it's no more expensive than raising children. You got to understand that. If you just start buckling down, and there's a certain quality of parenting that is needed. A lot of people want children, but aren't real parents. I see horrible parents out here. I see horrible parents all the time. Wanting a child, wanting to play house is one thing. Everybody wants a child and everybody wants to play house, but there's certain responsibilities to this that you don't know until you've been a father, like I've been a father. That baby takes time. Men generally, they say men take paternity leave, but you're only going to get a certain amount of paternity leave if you even get it. My experience in the real world, rather than what they say, is if you're a man, you're not going to get paternity leave to raise a baby. If you do, if you're one of these lucky ones, and if you can arrange some surrogacy or arrange an agreement and obtain a child, that's great. Adoption's great, but it won't be your child. Can you love another child that's not your child? I find you can love another child. I love the two, boys that are here now, and I love them dearly. And uh, I don't think there was more or less, any more love or less love for my own children. There is a bond there, and but if you don't know it, you'll never miss it. So the idea of Mgtow and children, it is really, really a sensitive, hot topic for some of us. And I can understand it if you want children. I can understand that perfectly well, because heck, I love children. I love to have one or two of them around till the day I die. But there's the responsibilities, and playing house is sometimes arduous, and playing house with you as a single male. And this is when the ideas of the MRA come in. If men do have a way to start securing children of their own, we generally don't get the assistance and support that women do. Now, they say they're non-gender bias social programs, but no, they're not. In the real world, they're not. My experience in HHS and my experience with social programs that I've been involved with, in the real world, not on books and not on the internet, but in the real world, and every man out there knows this, that you will get no assistance, you will get no help, and they will try to take that kid from you and give it to someone else, and they will try to make you into a slave. Just slip up once, that's all it will take. And it's like it's the same rules with your woman. There's a ton of cackling hyenas out there waiting for you to slip up. And with children, it's the same way. There's a ton of cackling hyenas out there with social systems and HHS waiting for you to slip up, because they want one thing: they want a slave in the system. They want that slave in the system. So having children is risky business. Not as risky as having a woman. I would say if our children came without women, I would have 10 of them. But how to procure a child? Like I said, surrogacy is sometimes you will get the child, sometimes you're going to pay for a whole, I would suggest seeing a lawyer, because I've seen men that have obtained children through surrogacy and still had them taken away from them and have to pay child support, because that's the way the courts are. And that's the real world we deal with as men. And as Mgtows, heck, no marriage means it's going to be stressful on us if you are one of these men like me that wanted children. It's a touchy subject. I know it's hard to articulate how to go about this, how to do it. There's no clear-cut path for men to have children. And if you really think about it, it should be an easier path. The society should be, working for men to have children, to be able to raise children, because most men are really great fathers. I found I'm a really good father myself. It's one of the things I do really good in this world. I'm a fine person. I don't have no felonies. I don't have no record. I do what I do just because that's what I do, and having children it's kind of natural. You can't have a 3-bedroom house without, it was with 2 bedrooms empty. So I know there's Mgtows out there that want to have children, and don't be afraid to come around and say, I'm a Mgtow and I want to have children, but I don't want to have a wife. And I'm afraid that the risk of having a child taken from me and the pain. And that's another thing I want to talk about. Once you've lived with a child up 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 years, and you get that child taken from you, the pain is so immense that generally you're going to be suicidal. If you don't drink, you may start drinking. You may need some therapy, But you're not going to get that in this society. They're going to tell you, "Hip, go to work. Yep, you're a utility now. Go to work." And that pain, um, it's crushing. And after that, I see a lot of guys go galt. I see a lot of guys abscond from society and abscond from everything after that. I did that for a while. I had nothing to do. A lot of people call me recluse. I'm very recluse, and I don't keep friends, and I don't do this, I don't do that anymore. After that, very intense period of time where I had my children taken from me, and man, I don't know if I was more suicidal or I was more homicidal. I wanted to kill something. I wanted to tear the system down. I wanted to, start the whole world on fire. That's the intense love of a father for his children. That gets tucked under. It gets tucked under, the carpet. We're not allowed to feel those feelings. We're not allowed to say those things. If you do say those things, they'll call you a liar in this society. It's the way it is, and that's what we're trying to change. We're trying to change general perception of how the male acts and how the male perceives life, and how the male can rear children and do a very good job at raising them. But I fear in this society right now that having children only comes with having a woman around. And once you have the family terrorist amongst the children become her property, and she will turn the children against you. She will use everything. They're a carrot on a stick. You're a walking ATM, and life becomes painful. Life becomes very, very painful. And that's all I really have to say about that. I hope I approached this from the heart, at least for the Mgtows that want to know. And if I think a Soner, I can't remember the last numbers on it, wanted me to talk about Mgtows and children. It's okay to want children. It's okay to be a Mgtow and want children. It's okay to say, I don't want a woman, but I may want some children in my life. I don't need a woman to take care of those children. I can do these things. I can cook. I can clean. I can raise these children. I can provide support. Why would I need a woman? But getting a child is another thing. We're fighting biology on that one. Maybe sometime in the future, they'll figure this one out for us. Not that there's not a lot of adopting, but from what I hear with adopting, it's very hard for a male, even two males, to adopt a child. Your income has to be very high, and you have to have everything set. It's easier for a female or a gay couple to adopt a child because all they need is an apartment, a bed, and some nice paint and some clothes for the child. For a male, it's not like that. You will need to prove an overage of responsibility, an overage of housing. You'll need to own your own house. You will need to own your own car. Your credit would have to be stellar. All these things would have to be taken care of in advance. You would have to be, Johnny Unitas to adopt a child as a single father, and that's the sad part. That's really sad. So I hope I answered some question. I think I beat it. I don't really know the answer to that question. You can get a woman and hope that she gets cancer and dies, before, after the kids are born, I hate to say that, drop her off in a drink after, get a deal with some woman, I don't know, that'll turn the child over to you. But for God's sakes, don't bring a woman into your house with a child, because it will become risky for you. Thanks a lot, Mgtows. Thanks a lot.